Welcome to the Jeff Vicario show on SLE Radio. Once more, this is show number 13. It's raining in Finland, and you can probably hear it in the background. But there you go. That's August for you. I'm recording this about a week ahead of schedule, as is my wont. So, well, what does that mean? It doesn't mean anything, other than the fact that nothing has changed. Everything is the same. We've got music, plenty of music, and actually, I'm gonna venture a guess that this is gonna be an even more sort of adventurous show than usual, even because as I was going through the list of songs that I picked, I realized that there are quite a few there that I don't really remember them that well, because, as I've mentioned before, I don't always spend a whole lot of time listening to the music that I'm going to play, because I kind of want to almost have the experience of, you know, hearing it for the first time when I record the show. So there you go. The first song is by an artist that I really dearly love. They're called Gravity Gun. I played them on my first or second show. I think I played my favorite track off of them, but this is the most recent release. I almost said releasant again. That should become a new word. Releasant meaning the most recent release. They're releasant. The song is called. Hey, wait a minute. Where are my notes? This is terrible. The song is called. What's wrong with me? Eaten by Moths. Well, that sounds pleasant. Are you ready to be eaten by moths? I don't know. I hope you are. This is Gravity Gun on SLERadio.com. Welcome to my nightmare. Or at least one of them. That certainly was a soundtrack to a nightmare, if ever there was one. It was horrific and magnificent, and that was Gravity Gun with a song called Eaten by Moths. I loved it. I love that band. I love their sort of brand of whatever it is that makes music so kind of... from the moment I heard them the first time, even the name of the band was I was just immediately drawn in by it. I don't know why. If you haven't checked out that song's cover on Bandcamp, for instance, it is... I mean, the album... single cover. The artwork is amazing. And it's just... I don't know what kind of... what this style or genre of that particular band or song is. I don't know. I don't care. I like it. I love it. It was a great way to kick off the show. That kind of spine-tingling electronic. Oh, great music. That just gets under my skin in a positive way. Moving on. Last week I had the honor of playing a song by Ulver, one of my favorite bands, current favorite bands. I played their latest single on the show, and because I was so fired up by the fact that I contacted, on a whim, a major artist in the indie scene, and got a reply that I immediately reached out to a half a dozen others, and much to the surprise of absolutely no one, including myself, nobody replied. So that particular experiment lasted all of one episode. But there you go. I expected nothing more from that particular thing. I do think, however, that I have Ulver's permission to play stuff from their album when it is eventually released. I hope so, at least. That for now, we're stuck with our awesome indie brethren and sisters and everybody who's involved in this community. And I again made a mental note to maybe not talk as much as I tend to do and just kind of get on with the show and play the songs. So the next artist was actually recommended to me by Joey, my good friend from Canada, who sent me their album, and the artist is called Midnight Gallows. And I'm gonna play a song from them right now, which is called Witch of the Waste, in keeping with the sort of overall theme of weather. I don't even know. What the hell was I gonna say? I don't know. Really weird show coming, I think. Jeff Vicario show, SLE Radio. This is, anyway, Witch of the Waste, and the artist is called Midnight Gallows. Enjoy. Seriously. Wow. That was Midnight Gallows with a song called Witch of the Waste. Hot damn. That was like Mastodon with like hints of early Ghost right at the start, but then that sort of the ending with that full-blown sort of doomy stoner vibe was just magnificent. From Regina, Saskatchewan in Canada. That's from their album Attack Warning Red, available on Bandcamp. Go buy it. That was monstrously good. This is so good. I mean, I wish I remembered what the other songs on the show were like, because, I mean, maybe I should do like a horror nightmare-themed show, because you know, we're off to a good start with Gravity Gun and then Midnight Gallows. They're not on Twitter. I tried to find them just now that I was listening to it, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to get see if Joey can like let them know that I'm playing them, because that was really good. I mean, I'd given them like the briefest of spins when I picked a song for the show, but I hadn't again listened to the song all the way through. But man, that got me all fired up. It was great. It was loud and just uncompromising. I love the vocals. I kind of like that style that Mastodon had back in the day of Leviathan and all those, you know, earlier, better albums where it was kind of buried in the mix. I kind of like that style. But then the screams, almost sort of black metal-esque screams towards the latter part of the song. That was just great. I loved it. And what better way to follow that song than by a song than as I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I'm squeezing this microphone as hard as I can for some reason. I think I'm kind of, I don't know, on the edge a little bit. I'm trying to relax into this, but how do you relax with music like Midnight Gallows, goddammit? The album was called Attack Warning Red. Anyway, what I was going to say is that what better way to follow up that particular song than with a song by Liz Davinci. This is a recent release from Liz. It's called Joni Blue, which brings to mind a certain artist, a favorite artist of mine. Let's see if the song lives up to that promise or whether it's something else entirely. Either way, I'm sure it's going to be magnificent. This is Liz Davinci with a song called Joni Blue.
She's only gone to the south. Said it's only for a little while. Didn't say what it was about. But as she turned, she started to smile. Oh, I need my blue city. I looked and looked all around.
lost it and we get lost.
From München, Germany via California, that was Davinci with a song called Joni Blue. Indeed, the subject matter seemed to be a certain singer-songwriter of some considerable renown. Very interesting sort of mid-rangey vocal style there. I kind of enjoyed it. You would sort of expect a very sort of pristine, high-end sort of style, sound for the vocals there. But I think that was really cool the way the vocals seem to resonate in the more sort of mid-rangey kind of style. Interesting production, very live sounding, very had a great presence, I would say. You were sort of right in the middle of it, and I liked the rhythm of it. That the time wasn't just straightforward, 4x4, bum bum bum. It was more inventive, and I liked the whole song was like a journey. It was very adventurous. I think Joni Mitchell would have been pleased with that particular song. I mean, with Joni, the obvious reference is the Blue Album. I'm more partial to Hissing of the Summer Lawns, and I guess the odd one out would be Don Juan's Reckless Daughter, which is basically just because, well, I guess I like it because Jaco Pastorius plays bass on it, or Jaco Pastorius, however you're supposed to pronounce that. Anyway, an incredible song there. I must say, a very nice mood shift from the more sort of monstrous opening. That was Davinci. I'm glad I got to play that song. It was really good. That's kind of hard to say anything more about it without sounding like a total doofus. So I'm just gonna stop now and introduce the next song. This is a recent discovery of mine. The name appeared on Twitter, and I was kind of intrigued by it, and contacted them and said, well, how would you like to be on a show? Little did they know that it would be this amateur hour, but whatever. The artist is called Ghost Modern, or as the spelling goes, well, just lose all the vowels. It's anyway, Ghost Modern. The song is called The Depths, which is their most recent release. I believe it came out on August 6th. So, I'm pleased to play it quite... In fact, right now, not quite now. I don't quite know what I'm doing. A hallmark of the Vicario show on SLERadio.com. Ghost Modern, The Depths. was Ghost Modern with The Depths on this show on the SLE Radio.com or YouTube or wherever you may be listening to. I love that style of music on the whole, like this sort of shoegazy post-rock thing. I remember when I first heard Godspeed You Black Emperor some 10 years ago or whenever, and I was just kind of taken aback by it, because it was like, I'm not supposed to like this stuff. I mean, first of all, I don't like instrumental music. I like pop, I like vocals, blah, blah, blah. But then to hear that sort of perfect piece of sort of cinematic instrumental music, which it's just gorgeous. You have to agree with me here, or, you know, go listen to some other show if you don't agree, if you don't agree with me. No, seriously, it just that was a song called "The Deaths" from Ghost Modern. I'm running out of things to say here. I mean, what I'm trying to communicate is that music is so kind of perfect. It just sort of exists. On some other kind of, I don't know what kind of mind produces music like that. I loved it. I mean, it kind of had echoes of, I heard a little bit of like Jar of Flies era, Alice in Chains somewhere in there. A kind of similar sort of spacey guitar style and whatnot, but oh man, it was a great song. I just loved it. And yeah, indeed, that just came out like 5 days ago. And when I'm recording this, it has not been released. So I'm really glad that I was allowed to play that song by Ghost Modern. Thank you very much. I don't know what we're going to be listening. Oh, no, I do. The song is called The Next... yes, one of those shows. The next song that we're going to listen to is called Something a Little Bit Different. And it is by Agent Odd. Agent Odd is one of those electronic artists that I've been following, listening to, pretty much from the moment I started listening to electronic music, which was late last year. And he's one of those guys that whenever I get like a SoundCloud notification that he's released something, I try to go and listen. And without exception, I've always really enjoyed his music. So it was only natural that I would ask him whether he'd want to be on this show. And happily he agreed, as indeed have most artists thus far that I've approached, with maybe like one or two exceptions, which has been great. And so now let's listen to this song by Agent Odd, who is odd, probably, really, but in a good way. And I think there's a hum in the background. No, that's a cruise ship. Yeah, I'm in Helsinki, near the harbor. There's a cruise ship. Oh, it vibrates. Anyway, Agent Odd, right now. Agent Odd with a song called Something a Little Bit Different. I love Agent Odd's music because it's always kind of playful in a sense, and even that was kind of playful, but it had a darker edge to it, which I really like, being a little bit of a brooding misanthrope. Well, not really. Well, occasionally. Anyway, whenever we're kind of probing the darker recesses of the human psyche, I am more at home there rather than in a sort of happy-go-lucky type of vibe, although I do admit that I enjoy that as well. But he always creates interesting music. That is such a redundant phrase, but that's also true. I've yet to hear a piece of music from Agent Odd that didn't immediately sort of grab me. In a weird way, it's not weird. It's odd. Ha joke. It's he manages to sort of conjure up something interesting. You would think that everything has been said in the world of sort of music, whether it's electronic or otherwise, but Agent Odd, like many other incredible electronic artists out there, managed to just conjure up endlessly sort of inventive and great. Oh, that was an email. Sorry. It was an email from... Yeah, never mind. But anyway, let's... do I listen to a lot of music like that in my free time? Too much coffee. No, I don't. I mean, I don't actually... to be honest, I don't listen to a whole lot of music at all these days. I mean, in fact, this is the 2 hours per week that I do listen to music. So I can't really say that I'm one of those people who spends, hours every day poring over new releases. I'm actually kind of dull in the sense that I don't seek out new music nearly as much as I probably should, considering that I do a show that should be focused on that. Anyway, why am I even talking about this? I don't know, but that was Agent Odd with a song called Something a Little Bit Different, and indeed it was, and first and foremost, it was a great song. Thank you, Agent Odd, for allowing me to play it. I'm looking forward to your next musical adventures. Vapor Chain, Wales, Need I Say More? This song is called A Million Light Years Away. It's from their album. I forget the name of the album. Neon Teeth. One of the best records of 2019. On SLERadio.com right now. Vapor Chain, A Million Light Years Away. Man, that's started off like some great sort of long forgotten Ultra era Depeche Mode song. There was an instrumental on that record that kind of was reminiscent of that. But then it sort of turns into its own magnificent composition. Timely reminder of why I really loved that record so much when it came out. I should listen to it more often. But then, like I just said, I don't really listen to a lot of music. I probably should. Or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. At least I think it keeps this show kind of fresh to me. I don't know about you out there, but to me, I'm not all too immersed in that stuff other than whatever I make on my own, which hasn't been a lot lately. Anyway, I liked it as much as I ever did, even if not even more so. I mean, I like the little sort of almost kind of Andy Summers style guitar things in the middle. It was a really interesting mix of like different influences, but sounding just like Vapor Chain, and that's it. Gotta give a shout out to James. I've been having some cool, great like DM conversations with him recently. He's always been very supportive, not just, as a fellow artist, but as a fellow human being. Really do appreciate and wish him and all of Vapor Chain all the best in whatever is coming next. I'm looking forward to new music from them, certainly at some point in the future. But while we're waiting for new music from them, let's do have a listen to Neon Teeth. It's available all over the place. If you want to be actually supportive, go buy the record, because Spotify, Yeah, Spotify. I just hate that service more than ever before. But before we get all angry and all that sort of thing, let's go on the dance floor. I'm not very good at these sort of pun-style intros to songs. Anyway, this song is called Indeed On the Dance Floor. It's by Alex Southey, a songwriter from Toronto, Canada. We've had some Canadians on the show this time. That's really cool. I don't know why it's cool, but it just is. Let's listen to it right now on SLERadio.com.
On the front porch of my place on the Danforth, we scored in the music hall. I counted our footsteps, and as we danced you undressed, I hoped it feels as good as before. On the floor, on the floor. Where's the guy I saw at the back of the restaurant? He knew how I wanted to love. We were 1, 2, 3. She's got your name. 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 We picked up some seeds and thought we'd grow the sunset. Make it easy to fall asleep in your arms.
voice was magnificent, awesome, and just like Tom York level brilliant. Amazing. And the fact that Alex Southey, sorry about the pronunciation, I just bit my tongue, god damn it. And the fact that he has such obvious vocal chops but doesn't trade on them, but lets the song be the song, and he's just singing what's necessary for the song. It's just, that shows, I don't quite know what I was expecting, because clearly I had forgotten what that song sounded like. You know, the name is a bit misleading, you must admit. But to be able to just create that sort of beautiful... I mean, you start off with a lap steel. Come on, that's like the most beautiful guitar sound there is. And then you have probably one of the best sounding, like, acoustic steel string guitar sound that I've heard in a while on a recording. That was amazing. I really did like that to a point where, I mean, it was magnificent. I mean, I strongly recommend everybody go and find Alex Southey on Bandcamp and make a purchase. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Put your money where your mouth is. I mean, the indie scene, as with every other scene out there, you know, we're all very good at liking and sharing and retweeting and you know, maybe even giving a song the odd Spotify spin. But come on, that doesn't help anybody. I mean, Spotify is a market gobbling giant that doesn't do anybody any good. However, Bandcamp, as far as I know, that's a clear line straight to the artist. And, you know, it's not really even about how much money you spend, but it's like showing that you actually care and that the work of the artist actually has some value. Because you have to know this, that everybody who's been played on the show, everybody who listens to the show most likely is an artist who's doing this stuff out of their own pocket. Nobody's earning a living here. Let's be real. But even worse than that is the whole notion that we should, and everybody should be willing to just do more, give more, and do it for free. And the weird sort of justification for that seems to be that because it's something you actually enjoy doing and is a passion, you should do it without compensation. Well, I say that's complete bullshit. And, you know, I know this is basically just me, another, you know, indie artist, talking to other indie artists who are listening. So it's a kind of a bubble. I realize that. But on the off chance that there's somebody out there who's not actually an artist and, you know, might be considering supporting an artist directly, then I'm just saying, Bandcamp, is there another way? I don't think there is. Anyway, that's enough of that. The next song that we're going to listen to is called Domino Blue, or was that the name of the artist? This is how good I am. It is the name of the song, and the artist is called Ivory Picture Story. Another band from Curtain Call Records, and we're going to listen to it right now on SLERadio.com and elsewhere.
What you want me to?
Ivory Picture Story with a song called Domino Blue from Curtain Call Records, courtesy of Angela Mugby. Thank you for sending me that song by that great band. I love that retro rock vibe there with some sort of attitude-laden vocals from the singer there. Great tune. Kind of like, I think that would be just great during, to see that band in a live setting, a small, sweaty club somewhere. I think that will work brilliantly. Great song, great artist. Look forward to hearing more from them. That was indeed Ivory Picture Story, song called Domino Blue. Next up, an artist, intriguingly named artist, as they tend to be, called Charles Boulevard. The song is called Experience Required. I don't think I'm gonna say a whole lot more right now. Instead, we're just gonna dive straight into the song. Experience Required. From Charles Boulevard. Well, that was pleasantly rough and rugged and rolling and all over the place. Well, not really, actually, it was quite together. I don't know why I said that. That was probably probably because of the guitars. Kind of had a Stonesy feel where they are a little bit sort of weaving in and out from what the other guitar is doing. Very enjoyable. That was Charles Boulevard, a three-piece band from the Czech Republic and Ireland. That's so great about these modern times where you can actually have a band that has members, you know, from different parts of the world. Like one of my groups is like that, you know. We're 4 primary members and all live in different countries, and then we have a number of collaborators who in turn live in different countries. So it's great. Anyway, that was a cool song. It's called Experience Required. If I'm not mistaken, it's from a forthcoming masterpiece of an album that's coming from Charles Boulevard. Look forward to hearing more from them on wherever good music is heard, including this station, which is SLE Radio, and the internet address is sleradio.com. Next up, a song called Every 5 Minutes by the alien Cormorant and Cecilia Miradori. Wonder what this is going to sound like. You will find out right about now.
Today the sky weeps. I had a dream we were walking together. Can you remind me every 5 minutes? I wonder for life is. Give me a morning where I can walk feeling the spring.
have I mentioned before that how much I like listening to music when I'm actually looking at the wave file? Well, yes, I have a number of times. This is one of those instances where it starts, you can tell from the wave that it starts slow and then it builds into a crescendo and you don't quite know what's coming. That was the Alien Cormorant featuring Cecilia Miradori. Speaking of worldwide or, globe spanning or whatever collaborations, the artists involved in this are from Dundee and Milan in Italy. Dream pop, I can't speak. Dream pop and dark wave. That was a great, intriguing, and indeed awesome song by the duo. I need to investigate further. I mean, that was such an interesting, it wasn't at all what I was expecting, Very sort of moody. It kind of reminded me of one of my favorite artists, Unknown Land, and various others, but in an entirely positive way. I loved the vocal style. It was very, very unique, and yet, perfect. Every little detail from the pronunciation to the phrasing and everything just fit perfectly to that song. Great music. Very much want to thank. Sometimes I feel like I should really maybe do something other than this show because it's such a mess. I want to thank the Alien Cormorant and Cecilia Miradori for getting in touch and sending me their music because I really enjoyed it. I loved playing it and loved sharing it with everybody who happens to be listening. Alice Triskel is what we're going to be listening to next, and the song is called Search the Good in Bad. I have been involved in a collaboration with Alice way back in whenever the show was starting off in May or whenever we did that sort of huge synthwave collab. And she did the vocals on that one, and this is her solo thing that she is doing. My God, is this not the worst show ever? I don't know. Alice Triskel, Search the Good in Bad. You kind of try to do the same with this show, please. Thank you. On SLERadio.com.
light waits on me, even if lights go for a while, even my feet only tread mode, I keep searching the good and bad, even if voices sing me, even my eyes don't stop to cry, even if my hands bleeding, I keep searching the good and bad, even if my heart's breaking, even if my brain turns mad, even if I'm on free fall, I keep searching the good and bad. I keep searching the good and bad. I keep searching the good and bad. I keep searching the good and bad.
That was some amazing and gorgeous, dreamy synth pop from Alice Triskel from Barcelona, Spain. Thank you for reaching out, sending me your music. I know you have a more recent single out right now, I think, but I will play it in a later show. I wanted to keep this one in because I thought it was a beautiful piece of music and fit in perfectly with the rest of the show. It had its own vibe. I especially liked the way it was put together. It was so dynamic, not just in terms of the production of it, but the way it was written. Peaks and valleys, and another gorgeous wave file for me to gaze at when I'm listening. Yes, indeed, Alice Triskel with a song called Search the Good in Bad, right here on SLERadio.com. And on YouTube, probably. I don't know. I hate YouTube, but there you go. You gotta deal with the devil, as Judas Priest sang 17 years ago. That was a great record. No, 15 years ago. Angel of Retribution was actually a pretty good record. I was very happy with it when it came out. What does that got to do with anything? Absolutely nothing. What does anything have to do with anything? Everything. This is the philosophical part of the show that ends right about now. The next song, indeed, is called A Sugar Moon. And it is by Krapka, KOMA, and Pixi Inc. I think you're gonna love this. I'm pretty damn sure of that.
Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, 'cause I wanna walk with you outside. Through the forest and the pines, '
That was a great, trippy, mellow song there from Krapka, KOMA, and Pixi Inc. Krapka, KOMA are a duo from Lviv in the Ukraine, and teamed up here with Pixi Inc., who's a London-based but originally Irish singer-songwriter producer. What a great team up, man! Just a great song with a great vibe. That's the thing that kind of struck me most about that, aside of the sumptuous vocals. Kind of really put me in a good mood right now. The sun is shining directly in my eye. I'm running late. I mean, I usually try to finish recording the show when I'm on the balcony before the sun comes from behind the house and starts creating a sauna. I don't like saunas all that much, regardless of the fact that I'm of Finnish origin and indeed whatever. What a crate. That was a combination of two words, crap and great. So right now this song is crate. Next up, I'm sorry. Let's just reiterate that song was Sugar Moon by Krapka, KOMA, and Pixi Inc. And it was great. It was awesome, unlike the rest of the show, which features speaking. That has not been very great. But there you go, Matlen Starsley band. One of those great sort of rolling, rockin', classic rocky bands that I like. They have some of the greatest guitar playing I've heard in a while, and this is my favorite song of them. I got sent a couple, and this was a no-brainer because this is the song I first heard from them way back when. At least I think that's the case. And you're gonna hear it now. It's called Rollin' Again. This is Matlen Starsley Band on SLE Radio.
Slam
did I tell you about the great guitar playing? And that was some of the meanest, but coolest and smoothest Strat playing I've heard in a while. You can't miss that kind of twang in the guitar there. Well, if it wasn't a Strat, then I'm sorry. That was Matlen Starsley Band, Rollin again. I mean, kind of everything I like about Southern, everything great about sort of Southern rock rolled into one without any other sort of trappings of Confederate flags and other crap, you know. Just great songwriting delivered. I mean, I love that vocalist. I mean, I just checked his bio, and that dude has been going since the 70s. Great voice, so much sort of character, but also a level of restraint to his delivery that is just great. And I love that refrain. I mean, I know it's been like sung probably countless times before, but the way that just grabs me. It has that slightly sort of nostalgic, melancholic vibe to it that I really love. That, you know, I don't know. I think that's why original Leonard Skinner were so great, because they had that sort of vibe to their songs. There was something magical about the way they managed to convey a whole sort of range of emotions, and it wasn't just one thing. It was all these different things, and I think Matlen Starsley Band do a magnificent job of channeling all that stuff, and the singing is your harmonies, the guitar playing, though their overall sort of like rolling vibe. Oh, bad pun. Of the way that they play, it's just lovely. That's the word for it. That was lovely music from Matlen Starsley Band. Very much appreciated. Thank you guys for letting me play it on my show. That was, you know, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that it isn't easy writing music like that and doing it that well. Great song. I know I overuse the word great, but there you go. It's not like I'm a professional or anything. Mood shift, that's one of my things on this show. Next up this is gonna be dark. I'll just leave it at that. This is LordNikon. This song is called Draped in Soot. LordNikon with Draped in Soot. Dark, loud, abrasive, and brilliant. That's how I would summarize that. If you want to listen to some goddamn dark synth, that's the way to go. No, seriously, I like all aspects of the synth, sort of different synth styles, you know, from the mellow to the dreamy to the downright craziness of like the likes of VVOV. Hi guys, I'm coming to Kouvola soon. No, I'm not, but I'd love to see you live. Anyway, I digress. LordNikon from Bay Area dark synth there. Their killer album was called Cult, spelled with a V, of course. That came out in March, and that's the most recent. My favorite new word, recent release. A standalone single called Draped in Soot, which you heard right now on SLE Radio. That was some killer music. I just do love me the incredible amount of variety of music that I'm able to play on this show. I mean, I would have gotten bored after one show if I'd had to like be genre specific and only play like, I don't know what, indie guitar pop written in A minor or something. I don't know. I loved it. And I, again, as with every artist thus far, I mean, I'm too lazy to actually create like a song list, track list, where I would list their socials and, you know, where you can buy their music. I'm too lazy. But, you know, it should be easy enough to find all these artists. I mean, I've done some checking, and I think like 90% of the artists that I've played thus far have been on Bandcamp, so you can go support them there. And the least that you can do is like spend them on Spotify or wherever. Anyway, onwards and upwards, I hope a couple of more songs. In fact, just 3. And then I'll be out of your hair for another week. This next song is called... what's it called? The Innocent, and the band is called The Trusted. On SLE Radio, right now.
I'm
The Trusted there with their song The Innocent. These guys are going places. I mean, I realize that they're already like being played on BBC Radio and whatnot, so it's and that's no surprise. I mean, that was actually like a Coldplay that didn't suck, you know, because I do hate Coldplay with a vengeance, along with U2 and every other band that, well, not every other band, but those two kind of are the epitome of what's awful about mainstream music. One-trick ponies, two tricks most. Anyway, that was The Trusted. Lydia Reed got in touch with me and sent me their music. Thank you, Lydia. That was a great song. Enjoyed listening to some classic sort of... well, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that was mainstream pop, in a sense, by an indie band. But clearly, you know, wanting to go places, and I hope they do. From Southend-on-Sea in the UK, that was a great... music. That was some great music from a great band called The Trusted. The song was called The Innocent. Great songwriting, great delivery, great production. What's not to say? What's not to like about a song like that? I'm sure that's gonna like burst out of the speakers like nothing else. Regardless of what kind of crappy equipment you're listening on, like me, for instance, you know, with my... I hope those guys didn't think that like by getting on this particular show they were gonna like be treated with professionalism, because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Just so you know. Anyway, the last song proper on the show, because you know what the last one is going to be like. And this is by Upon Eventual Collapse. I had a magnificent 4-hour chat with the person behind Upon Eventual Collapse a few weeks ago in the height of summer. I woke up at 5 a.m. and we talked about this, that, and the other. It was him, Madam M from Pike, Saphira V, and my good buddy Joey, and I think I think that was the lineup for that chat. Anyway, I don't know if that's ever coming out, but whatever. That was a good time. Was reminded of his great music just today, actually, because I discovered that I have space for one more song on this show. So what the hell? Let's play a game of favorites here and play some Upon Eventual Collapse. This is from the most recent record called The Indifference Point, and this is the title track, The Indifference Point.
I think with
the same. It doesn't matter, no, it doesn't matter. The indifference point turns it all to gray. It doesn't matter, doesn't matter. And all the colors began to fade. It doesn't matter, no, it doesn't matter. The indifference point turns it all the same. Turns it all the same. Turns it all the same.
Well, that was as mean as hell. Upon eventual collapse with a song called The Indifference Point. I mean, what a difference one hit can make. Indeed. Wise words. Very true. They ring true. That was, you know what, that was the last song proper of this show. And it's been an interesting show. But let's, just before we move on to the mandatory finale, let's just say that was another first. I think that was like the first sort of classic proper like industrial sort of style stomper that I've had. I doubt that any other bands that I've featured, artists, fit that bill. Well, like hearing that was really like a throwback to, I don't know, all kinds of names pop to mind, but none of them kind of perfectly encapsulate what that was all about. Anyway, I loved it, and it was a perfect way to end this show. You can tune out now because the next song is something I wrote, and as always, no need to stay around for listen to it. Next week we'll have another awesome new great lineup. I'm still kind of putting that together. I have no idea what I'm going to play except for maybe like 4 or 5 songs. I do know, however, that it's going to feature a song from A New Hope, one of my favorite synthwave artists has a new thing coming out on August 17th. So something from him on the next show is certainly going to be played. Let's see, what else have I got lined up? I think I'm going to be playing some Pernicious Birds, possibly some Cormorant, Liaquat Khan I got lined up, and a great new song from Kuhl if at all possible. Things like that. Anyway, the last song is dedicated to the one and only Troy from Limbocast. This is his favorite Black Distortion song ever. I'm sure he's listening to it on repeat even as I speak now. This song is called Cruising. It's from Black Distortion. I did probably already mention that. This is the only song I've ever written, well, certainly in the last, I don't know however many years, that I intentionally tried to write a hit. The way it was put together, the beat, the tempo, everything, except, well, I went a little bit crazy with the verses in the end, but the chorus certainly is pretty much just those kinds of chords that spell, I want to be played on the radio. I don't know. And it's been played on the radio. Ollie has spent it a fair few times, so thank you to our fellow awesome indie station, Radio TFSC. And Ollie, you're a great guy. Thank you for all the work that you've done for the indie community and all the projects that I've been involved in. It's always super fun to interact with you. Anyway, this song is called Cruising, and it's dedicated with a lot of warmth and affection to, well, Troy, of course, but initially I kind of wrote it as a tribute to Tom Petty, because why not? I miss that guy. He was such a great songwriter. Until we hear from each other again, this has been a great, if somewhat weird show from me. I'll be back on SLE Radio.